The city breathed outside her studio window, a chaotic symphony of honking horns, rumbling engines, and the distant melody of pop music spilling from a nearby cafe. But inside Maya's creative space, a stifling silence reigned, heavy with a sense of foreboding. The neon glow from her computer screen illuminated her face, etching the weariness of another all-nighter spent chasing deadlines. On her desk, amidst the colorful chaos of art supplies, paintbrushes, and scattered sketches, a forgotten mug of coffee had long gone cold. Maya massaged her temples, trying to knead away the dull ache that throbbed behind her eyes. She was surrounded by vibrant, eye-catching designs, her creations, born from her own two hands, yet they now felt like discordant notes in the symphony of her troubled mind. Maya, freelance graphic designer and owner of a burgeoning personal brand, used to thrive on the fiery passion that fueled her work. She lived for those moments when she could lose herself in a world of color and form, transforming bold ideas into tangible realities. But lately that fire felt as if it were dwindling, suffocated by the weight of success, expectations, and the relentless pace she had set for herself. Success hadn't come easily for Maya. She had endured countless late nights, countless pitches made, countless rejections faced, only to rise again, more determined each time. But now, as her brand gained recognition, as collaborations poured in and her schedule overflowed, she found herself feeling adrift. She was like a small boat, tossed about in a vast ocean of deadlines, contracts, and the ever-growing expectations of clients, and, most daunting of all, herself. The joy of creation had been replaced by a fear of failure, the initial thrill of each project now overshadowed by the pressure to constantly innovate, to constantly be ahead of the curve. Maya sought solace in the digital world. Social media, with its endless scroll of curated perfection, offered a temporary escape, a fleeting sense of connection. But the curated highlight reels, the stories of overnight success, soon became a source of comparison, a breeding ground for self-doubt. She found herself breathless, exhausted, caught in an invisible race with no finish line in sight. Late one night, as the city outside settled into a restless sleep, Maya remained glued to her computer screen, mindlessly scrolling through her social media feeds. Amidst the polished images and relentlessly upbeat captions, a video thumbnail, stark in its simplicity, caught her eye. It was the image of a middle-aged man, dressed in simple brown robes, meditating serenely amidst a tranquil natural landscape. His face, though etched with the lines of time, held a sense of peace that felt both foreign and alluring. Above the video, in elegant script, were the words,
"Finding stillness in the chaos."
Something about the juxtaposition, the quiet promise held within those words, resonated deep within Maya. She clicked, and the soothing sound of gently flowing water filled the room, like a cool breeze cutting through the stagnant air. The man in the video, introduced as Master Kenji, a Zen master, began to speak, his voice as warm and grounding as a temple bell. He spoke of the overstimulated modern mind, caught in the relentless current of information, consumed by worries and intangible fears.
"Our minds are like restless monkeys,
Master Kenji said, a smile softening his features.
always clinging to the regrets of the past or worrying about an uncertain future. Mindfulness is the practice of gently guiding that monkey back to the present moment, the only place where true peace and freedom reside."
His words landed like seeds on the dry, cracked earth of Maya's soul. Could something as simple as
mindfulness
truly offer a way out of the storm that raged within her? She shook her head, skeptical, yet clinging to a fragile thread of hope. Master Kenji's words echoed in Maya's mind like a mysterious invitation. She replayed the video, absorbing his teachings on mindfulness.
It's not about erasing thoughts, but observing them.
His soothing voice washed over her like a cool spring on parched earth. Curiosity sparked, Maya delved deeper into the world of mindfulness. She spent hours online, devouring articles, watching guided meditation videos. An entirely new universe unfolded before her. A world that, consumed by her hectic schedule, she'd never known existed. Maya began by incorporating mindfulness into the simplest of actions. Instead of rushing into her day, she spent a few minutes each morning by her window, breathing deeply, feeling the warmth of the sunlight on her skin. She observed the interplay of light and shadow on the leaves outside, listened to the cheerful chirping of birds, and felt the pulse of life in each breath. During her usually hurried meals in front of her computer, Maya turned her attention to the act of eating. She savored each bite, noticing the sweetness of the butternut squash soup, the creamy texture of peanut butter on toast, the tangy burst of fresh fruit. Each flavor became a symphony for her senses. Even while walking Choco, her chubby corgi, Maya no longer let her mind race with deadlines, emails, or unfinished designs. Instead, she felt the gentle pressure of each step on the pavement, inhaled the earthy scent of damp leaves, and listened to Choco's delighted barks as he chased after fallen foliage.
Experience the present moment with all your senses,
Master Kenji had advised, and Maya step by step was learning to truly be present in each moment instead of being swept away by the relentless current of her thoughts. Taming her,
monkey mind,
however, proved to be more challenging than Maya had anticipated. During her initial attempts at meditation, her mind, like a restless child, darted from one thought to another. Worries about upcoming deadlines, annoyance over a client's critical email, and ideas for her next design project, they all swirled within her, vying for attention. The inner clamor made her want to give up, but then she'd remember Master Kenji's words.
Don't judge your thoughts, simply observe them as clouds passing by.
Patiently, Maya returned to her breath, gently drawing her mind away from the whirlpool of thoughts. Gradually, she realized that she didn't need to control her thoughts, but rather create a space between them and her true self. Those first meditation sessions, initially lasting only a few minutes, gradually lengthened. The silence, once uncomfortable, became bearable, even strangely pleasant. In that stillness, Maya began to hear her own inner voice, to acknowledge the emotions that had been masked by the busyness of her life. The change in Maya was subtle yet profound. She still worked diligently, still faced demanding deadlines, but she no longer felt overwhelmed or stuck. She found joy in simple things, became more patient with herself and those around her. Maya's journey into mindfulness had just begun, but it had already ignited a new flame within her, a flame of peace and understanding. The morning sunlight streamed through the window, bathing Maya's studio in a warm golden glow. She woke with an unfamiliar sense of peace. Gone was the usual morning rush, the familiar knot of anxiety in her stomach. Instead, Maya took a few moments to meditate, to breathe deeply, allowing her mind to awaken gently with the day. Mindfulness, once a foreign concept, had seeped into her life like rainwater nourishing parched earth. She was discovering that mindfulness wasn't just about those moments of quiet meditation. It was about how she approached her work, her relationships, and even the simplest of daily tasks. At work, Maya began to weave mindfulness into every project. When presented with a new design brief, instead of letting her mind race with 1,000 fleeting ideas, she focused her full attention on the client's needs, listening with an open mind, free from judgment. She learned to ask the right questions, to observe body language, and to hear the unspoken desires woven into her client's words. This deep focus allowed her to truly understand the essence of the problem, leading to more creative and effective solutions. Maya also became more attuned to her own creative process. She realized that her best ideas often came in the most unexpected moments, during a walk in the park, while enjoying a cup of tea, or even in the shower. She carried a notebook everywhere, jotting down thoughts and images as they arose. She no longer forced creativity, but allowed it to flow naturally, like a spring bubbling up from the earth. The pressures of her work remained, but Maya no longer felt overwhelmed. When deadlines loomed, instead of panicking, she took a deep breath, broke down the work into smaller tasks, and focused on completing one step at a time. This sense of calm allowed her to see problems more clearly and to find effective solutions. She realized that mindfulness wasn't a magic formula to erase all challenges, but a steady companion that helped her weather any storm. Beyond her work, mindfulness transformed the way Maya interacted with others. She became a more attentive listener, offering her presence without judgment or interruption. She looked people in the eye, absorbed their words, observed their body language, and sought to understand the emotions beneath the surface. This allowed her to connect with others on a deeper, more authentic level. Maya also cultivated a daily practice of gratitude. She expressed gratitude for her health, her loving family and friends, and the opportunity to do work that she loved. This simple practice helped her appreciate the often overlooked gifts in her life, finding joy in the present moment. The late afternoon sun painted the cityscape in hues of rose and gold as Maya sat at the small wooden desk in her apartment, her fingers flying across the keyboard. After weeks of contemplation, she had decided to write an email to Master Kenji, the teacher who had guided her to the world of mindfulness. In her email, Maya poured out her heart, describing her journey from the depths of burnout and feeling lost in the relentless cycle of work to finding mindfulness as a beacon of light. She shared her initial struggles, the valuable lessons learned, and above all, the profound transformation that mindfulness had brought to her life. As she clicked send, a wave of relief washed over her. She didn't expect a reply. The act of sharing her story was a reward in itself. A few days later, as Maya practiced her morning yoga routine, her phone chimed, signaling a new email. It was from Master Kenji. Her fingers trembled slightly as she tapped the screen.
Dear Maya.
Master Kenji's words fanned the embers of passion within Maya's heart. She realized that her journey wasn't just about healing herself. It was about sharing this precious gift with others.
I am heartened to know that you have found the light of mindfulness on your journey. The most important thing is not how long you have meditated or what extraordinary feats you have accomplished, but that you have learned to be fully present in each moment of your life.
He continued.
Mindfulness is not a destination, but a journey. There will be times when you feel lost, times when you stumble, but always remember to return to your breath, to return to the present moment, and know that you are not alone on this path.
Master Kenji's words fanned the embers of passion within Maya's heart. She realized that her journey wasn't just about healing herself, it was about sharing this precious gift with others. She started small. Maya shared articles about mindfulness on her social media, organized small gatherings with friends and colleagues to practice meditation. She integrated mindfulness exercises into her design workshops, helping her students not only to enhance their creativity, but also to find greater balance in their lives. Maya didn't try to become another Master Kenji or a mindfulness expert. She remained Maya, the passionate graphic designer. But now, in every stroke of her brush, in every design she created, there was a newfound beauty, a depth and sensitivity that had not been there before. Life was still full of challenges, the pressure of work ever present. But Maya no longer felt afraid, because she knew that no matter what life threw her way, she could always find solace within herself, just as Master Kenji had taught her.
Finding stillness in the chaos.
The sharp ring of her phone snapped Maya out of her creative flow, pulling her attention away from the design she was working on. It was an email from a new client, a demanding request with a tight deadline. Before, Maya would have spiraled into a frenzy of anxiety and overwhelm. But today, a soft smile touched her lips. She inhaled deeply, feeling the cool air expand her chest, a familiar anchor. Instead of rushing to respond, she stood and walked to the window, gazing out at the city lights twinkling below. It was in that moment that she recalled Master Kenji's words that had become woven into the fabric of her days, her breath, her very being.
Mindfulness can be practiced anytime, anywhere, not just during meditation, but also while eating, walking, working, interacting with others.
And in that moment, Maya truly understood. She smiled, a deep sense of peace settling upon her features, and returned to her work, her heart lighter, her mind clear.